Hey, what's going on, guys? A few weeks ago, I was asked to do a video on the care for my green tree python. Sorry it's taken so long to do it. I've kind of been busy, but here we go. Before I even start this, I want to go on record saying that I am in no way, shape, or form an expert on green tree pythons. I have one of them. I did my research before I got it, and these are just the things that I do that I've found work for me. This is the tub that I keep her in. It's a 40 quart tub. Obviously, it's not like a 41 quart tub. That's the sweater box tub or whatever the hell they call it. It's taller and obviously shorter. In here, I use newspaper as substrate. There definitely are better things to use, but this is easier for cleanup and it does hold water, so it keeps the humidity up. I have a water bowl there. They don't always drink out of the water bowl that's on the ground. In fact, mine rarely ever does, but I always keep one in there just to be safe. And then obviously I have a perch here. Now this tub I have in this rack down there. Those two slots right there hold the same size tub. And when I built this rack, I knew that I was going to get a arboreal snake at some point in time. So when I built this tub, when I built this rack, I designed it specifically to hold these tubs that I found. And what I did, instead of running, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, instead of running the heat tape along the bottom like you normally would for any other snake, I ran it along the top. That way that they can get the heat from when they're sitting on their perch. And that's worked out really well for me. Alright, let me move this back over here and I'll get her out and talk about her a little bit. Okay. I just have her in her right now while I'm doing this video. This is my green tree python. Green tree pythons are actually really, really different from most other snakes. Yeah, feeding wise, I feed her once a week, maybe even less than that. They have a little bit slower metabolism than most normal snakes do, so you can definitely overfeed them, and they'll get real fat and lethargic, and that's not good for them at all. So I'd say don't feed them more than once a week, once every week and a half, honestly, because they'll eat until they die, pretty much. They'll eat anything and everything every time. I've never really had a problem with her with eating. She's pretty good about that. Temperature-wise, I try to keep the hot spot right between 86 and 88, right up where her perch is, and that works out good for her. And I spray her cage and her once a day. I usually do it right when I get off work, and most of the time she drinks water right off herself. She's actually pretty good about handling her. Once you already have her up. Once you already have her in your hand, she's pretty good about it. And she's going to take all this paper with her. I know it. Alright, hold on a second here, guys. Okay. She's got all the paper there. But yeah, once I have her in my hand, she's pretty good. Getting her off the perch, she can be a little feisty like any green tree python would be, but it's definitely not true that they're all mean and bitey and stuff like that. She's probably only struck at me a handful of times, and it's always when I'm trying to get her off the perch. Once I have her out of her cage and everything, she's perfectly fine. But these are an animal that will get stressed out very easily. So it's not an animal that you want to hold on a regular basis by any means. I hold her here and there for a couple minutes when I'm cleaning her cage, and that's about it. Other than that, I don't really mess with her. Also, like I said, they do get stressed out easily. If you're going to have her in like a display tank, you really want somewhere for her to hide, because if you're walking by the cage all the time, it's going to stress her out, and that's not good. She'll stop eating, so on and so forth. Another thing about the enclosure, this enclosure is good for her right now. It's good for how big she is. She's not full grown. She's definitely got some more to grow. But that's not an enclosure that's going to be suitable for a full-grown green tree python. Hopefully this summer I'm actually going to be getting a new enclosure for her. It'll be actually like a show enclosure, a display tank. And for a full-grown green tree python, you really want something that's like 2 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot. That would be, ideal. But that's really about it. Just, hello, how are you? Just if you're looking to get one of these snakes, know what you're getting into. Know that you're not going to be able to hold this snake all the time, that they can be bitey, and that, it's not like a ball python where, they're virtually indestructible. And she loves the camera, apparently. Alright, guys, that's about it. Stay tuned for more videos.